All right, so what we're going to do here is a simple 2-point perspective lesson where we practice this in class, and some of you asked me to make a tutorial. This will cover 2-point perspective. Again, this is for the 7th graders. If you are doing 1-point perspective, you need a different video. So again, this is 2 vanishing points for the 7th grade class. So what we're going to do here first is we're going to start with 2 small dots. And those are going to be our vanishing points. Now, technically, those are sitting on a horizon, but for this activity, we are not going to draw the horizon line. Now, I am going to move somewhat quick in this video, so again, you should be pausing it, rewinding it, wherever you need to. All I'm going to do to begin is put a vertical line that goes above and below our vanishing points. Now, what we do is we use the vanishing point, and I like to put my pencil on the actual vanishing point, and then put my ruler on the pencil, and that allows me to rotate my ruler without leaving the vanishing point. And I simply go to the bottom line of the edge here, and I draw a very light line. I'm going to then move to the top and do the same thing. So it kind of comes out looking like a triangle. What we do on one side, we repeat on the other. And again, we always want to make sure that we're lined up with our vanishing point and our edge, or our corner. And now it kind of looks like a diamond. Now in 2-point perspective, verticals are always going to remain vertical. So there's a nice straight line. So I'm going to just go ahead and, actually let's go ahead and line it up like that and use the other side of our ruler. I also like to use a clear ruler when I do perspective because it allows me to see my lines and kind of keep a straight edge. Once you're done with the first cube, you're simply going to erase your orthogonal lines. So the lines that are going to the vanishing point that we no longer need. For the next part of the process that we learned, we added to this a ribbon or a design on the side. Now, I noticed some kids started writing words on the side and doing designs, and you can't do that. If it's on this side, it's going to go to this vanishing point. So if we want to have text or line or pattern or whatever, it's going to need to use the vanishing point. For this, I'm going to go ahead and make a ribbon. So I'm going to go down about to here, and about the same distance from the top. I'm going to go on the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead to the vanishing point. Now for this, I could draw my orthogonal line all the way to the vanishing point, but it's kind of unnecessary because we know the ribbon's going to stop at this point. So as long as our vanishing point is being used, and we know for a fact we have the correct angle with our ruler, I'm simply able to add that line. Again, we know we have the vanishing point being used, so I'm able to just draw to the edge of this line. And what we do on one side, we're going to repeat on the other. Again, we are going to the vanishing point, we're just not drawing the line the entire way. Give that a second to catch up. And you can see now that it looks like something is on there. Now, I mentioned to the students in another class that, if you get a lot of packages around this time of year, I know we have a lot of Amazon packages, and they have like a black piece of tape where they seal it up. And if I look outside of my window when there's a box sitting on the porch, it kind of looks like this. Okay, see how that could be the tape on the box? Now for the verticals, I'm simply going to drop those in. And again, you'll notice I didn't draw through there. I left a space. And I'm just kind of picking those in there. You can do this methodically and measure it and whatnot. But for this tutorial, we're just going to go kind of quick. And there we go. So what you can, well, as it starts focusing, what you can see here would be something wrapped up. Okay, let's do another line here. I'm going to put a line right here. Vertical line. Again, excuse me, I'm going to use my vanishing point to the edge of my line here. And this one I am going to draw all the way. What we do on one side, we do on the other. And then I'm going to drop my verticals in. I can erase my orthogonal lines. And what I'm left with kind of looks like an open folder. As soon as that focuses, hope you can see that. Kind of looks like an open folder or a stretched out book. And what's happening here is we can see the roof. So this corner goes to this vanishing point. So there's the line. So this corner is going to be the same way. Now, before I draw this line to that vanishing point, I'm going to show this to you digitally real quick. Because what I want you to see is when we go from this corner to here and this corner to here, our lines meet up right here. Now the thing is where they line up is the back corner of the box. But we're not going to draw these lines to begin with because they are being overlapped. They're behind by the top box. So let's go ahead and look at that. So again, I'm going to line up my ruler. And I'm going to draw my line from here over. But once I get to here, there's no reason to draw this line because we know that it ends somewhere in here. Next, I'm going to go from the other angle, which is here. And again, there we have our boxes. So we can see that this box is sitting on top of this box. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some stripes to this as though it were, like candy cane wrapper or something. But again, I'm not going to draw the line right here. What I'm going to do is use the angle and draw the line here, put my pencil back on the vanishing point to rotate, and I'm going to simply draw these lines on the package, not out here. There's no reason to draw the lines out there. As long as I make sure my vanishing point is being used, we should be able to just make each line as we go. And you'll notice as I'm doing this, I'm kind of making the lines get a little closer together as they go. Because as this goes away from our eye, the lines would appear to be closer together. As it is closer to our eye, our lines would appear to be closer together. Now, if we want to have this look even more 3D, we would add our vertical lines. Again, if it's a vertical line, it doesn't use a vanishing point. Any other line does. So here we have vertical lines. So even though this went to a vanishing point here it's going to drop vertical. So I'm going to line up each of these and just drop a line in. Now, perspective doesn't have to be difficult, but it can be confusing and tricky. And you can kind of see how it looks like there, it goes down and then drops, almost like a butcher block countertop. Now, that is how we make one below the horizon, or below the vanishing points, if you will. And there's no difference in the top. It's the same method, but you'll be working in the opposite direction. So again, here we can see this is now on top. Here it's below. So it's really just your perspective, pun intended, of where your view is. Okay? So again, this should help you guys get working so you can keep adding to this. Again, keep in mind, if we do a vertical straight off of the package here, we may not actually see the top or the bottom if it's too small. So if the package were smaller than the one below it, again, still using our vanishing points, it could look like this as well. If it'll catch up, hold on. Okay? But again, if it were larger, if it were hanging off of here, we would end up seeing the bottom of it since it's above the eye line. All right. This should help you out for 2-point perspective for those 7th graders that wanted a review video.